Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this box. When I saw these dies, I just thought, oh, a nice box for a candle, like a pillar candle, would make a really lovely gift. So this box is made from Centura pearl, hint of gold, and then I have used this die set from Creative Expressions, the Sue Wilson dies, and they're the floral panels. They're the Buttercup. So what you get in the die set is you get the two panels. So you get this one with the buttercups, and then you get this foliage one. You get, for each one, you get an outer border, and then you get two different decorative borders. Now you could use them together, you could use them just one for both. They are interchangeable, so it gives you a lot of scopes, because you could a lot of scope. You can cut them out like that, you can cut them out, like that, you can cut panels like so, you can cut plain panels with that one or that one. There's a lot of combinations of these dies that you can use, and these will cut in like I've done with the box, or you can use them to cut out a panel. Now, when I said I saw these and I thought, oh yes, I want to make like a tall box for a candle, my original intention was to use both of them, and in my first attempt I did. However, there is one word of caution. This foliage die is really delicate, and it literally only joins to the outer at this bit here and this bit here. And it made it really quite tricky with the whole process that I need to cut this 4 times in the same piece of card. That actually I decided it would be better just to use this one. There are a couple more videos on the channel where I have used both of these together on different cards. There's a gatefold card and a fold back card. So, pop on and have a look at those for that one. But for this, we're going to just concentrate on the actual buttercup panel. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, there's this weeny, teeny, tiny little butterfly die that comes with it. And it is really, really small. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create our box, and we make this from one piece of A4 for the base, and then you'll need another piece to create the lid, and then if you have a look here, you need another piece to go in the bottom of the box. You can probably see that on the overhead camera. It goes in the bottom of the box. So it's a little bit more than a A4 sheet. But the main box itself is from this. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard and my scoring tool, and I have my measurements next to me so that I don't go wrong and that I can explain to you, because there's a little bit of jiggery pokery on this one because I don't have the big scoreboard. I thought quite often when I do things like this, I bring the big one and I say, oh, you can do it on the little one. But I thought I'd show you this time exactly how to do this. So we're going to score at 2 3/4. So I'm scoring my card at 2 3/4. And then I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Like so. Okay. I'm then going to turn my card right the way round. Now, this screw line I've just done here doesn't fit into either of these. So we just need to very gently slide it across so it fits in the 6 1/4 line. Okay. You just need to hold it there. And then you're going to score at 3 1/2. And then you're going to score at 3/4. There we go, like so. Okay, then we're going to turn it around this way with the small part at the bottom, and we're going to score at 1 inch. Okay, so that's all our scoring done. And I am also going to fold and burnish it. Now, the process of putting this through the die cutting machine 4 times actually means that some of these lines start to disappear, but not completely. If you have scored and burnished them, then they will still be there enough for you to know where your folds are, and it will still fold quite nicely. If you don't do this, then you run the risk of not being able to find them again. Okay, so I now need to cut that panel. I need to cut it 4 times. So it means running it through the machine 4 times. This is why I originally thought, oh, I'll do the 2 panels and yeah, but it turned out to not be quite so easy. So what I want to do, I'll show you how to make the lid in a minute. The lid obviously is going to sit here, and I've got a border, I'm using this one, to go around it. So I kind of need to sort of work out roughly where I want that panel to be, and I think it's probably there. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to put a bit of tape to hold this on. Now, I'm not getting that very straight, just bear with me. I keep sliding it. Easy to do at the top first. Now, the thing that the other I'm giving you this project saying there's all these issues with it. There is one problem with cutting dies like this. You are cutting, you have to put this piece of card in whole. You have to put it in this way because it's the way it's going to fit. But die cutting machines are not a great fan of straight edges straight on, or having the pressure distributed amongst so many pieces. Normally we would angle it like this, so as it came through, it hasn't got all those pressure points. But it is worth persevering with this because I think the box just looks fantastic. Now, a couple of other tips. I'm not going to do it, but a couple of other tips. If you're, whatever it is in your machine that is going to sit on here is marked, you know, we all kind of have a little bit of a moan, don't we? Oh, they're marking our cards. Well, Centura Pearl is going to mark, it is. So if you know you've got a particularly sort of marked shim, then put a piece of copy of paper or a couple of pieces, it will protect your card from the worst of it. It will also provide an extra shim, which you might need. As I said, we're cutting this. We're asking a lot of our machine with this cut. So I'm just running it through with no extra pressure. I don't know whether I hold up much hope with that, but we'll see. But it's worth a go. Now you can see that's done nothing. Can you see it's cut there? It's kind of cut there, but it's not really interested in cutting in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this, run this through again, and I'm going to put the magnetic shim in. Okay, and we'll try that. We'll see how that goes. Now, you can run a test with the card, but the problem with that is you're putting this die at 4 different places. So at each position, you might find that it might go through fine the first time, or it might take a couple of goes. Now, oh my God, it's stuck to the board. Have a look. Now you can see that you can see all the cut lines, and you can see there's some embossing. So there was enough pressure on this, hopefully. So we're going to go with that. But like I say, it's one of those projects that you kind of have to weigh up for you. Is it worth the kind of additional fiddles that can you see what I mean? I've got marks on my card. I'm not too worried because this isn't the one we're going to finish with. Because I don't really think you need to see me do this 4 times. Let's see. There we go. So there was enough pressure to emboss it as well, which is good. Whereas the first time there wasn't enough pressure to even cut it. So just going to ease these bits out. I'll tell you from my experience, the ones here I think were the trickier ones. So you may need a couple of runs through. You might need another shim. You might need to shim it in a particular spot. My word of caution with shimming in a particular spot would be you don't want to leave marks on your card. So if you're going to shim, you want your shim to be at least the same size as your piece of card. So I've got just a little catch there. Come off. I can get hold of it. There we go. So we have our first one cut out. Now, like I say, I would go ahead and I would cut there and there and there. But I've already gone ahead and done that. So the next thing we need the frames. These frames. So we're going to use this die and this die to create the frames. I've already got one cut out here. That's what we're aiming for. I've got my piece of card here. Now you could decide to just cut into one side of the box, or just 2 sides of the box. You don't have to cut into the 4 sides like I have. It's just that I just thought it would be nice. You could also, rather than I put a pattern paper behind mine, you could put acetate or I know even patterned acetate or acetate that you've decorated, or anything that you like behind the actual aperture. So this is kind of my version because I created the box, but it's the way I would do it. It doesn't have to be the way that you would do it. Now, don't throw those away. They're perfectly cut little mats for another project sometime, but they're brilliant. So here I have, and I've got a little bit there that didn't cut. So we're just going to shove it back through. See here? And that's probably in this little dip in my plate. You can even see where it's cut. Where I've got that little dip, it's gone, oh, no, not enough pressure there. So I'm just going to, I'm trying to be careful because what I don't want is try and cut that and then end up cutting this at the wrong angle. So I am going to just get a little bit of tape. I know I'm going to end up cutting the tape by doing this, but at least it's going to keep my die cut in the right place. So I'm going to put that in the same place, so we'll put it there this time. And let's hope. Let's hope I've got that in the right place. If not, I'll find another bit of card and we'll cut it again. So it's worth, I didn't really look at my board to check that. It's worth looking to see if you've got any little areas that you think, why is it not cutting there? Let's see if I've mullered this now. Okay, so now it's cut. Now it is cut. So excellent. Oop, bing, bing, bing. All the bits going everywhere, but it's static I've got at the minute. Oh, come off. there. Then pop this out. Let's get rid of the there. A little bit still in there. Pop those out. Ooh, flicking it all over, I am. Okay, so there's our borders. So I'm just going to get rid of that rubbish. Dies out of the way. So they will sit around our pieces like so. And then our pattern paper sits behind. Okay, so I have already got to this point with this one. So we're going to stick on these two bits on the back and then our two borders on the front. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm not going to apply the glue to this, because if I apply the glue all over here, all bits will be coming through. So I'm applying the glue to the back of the cut piece, and I'm going to use my glue. I've got my fine tip for some parts, and then I've got my wider tip for others. So I'm going to do, with the wider tip, I'm going to go round the outside of the, I'm going to end up putting my arm in glue in a minute. Hey ho. Around the edge like so. And then these big flower areas I can use with my big sort of tip. So yeah. And then I'm going to put my fine nozzle in these other little bits like so. So always do what I don't do, and that is to clear off that tip before you put it away. I have a tendency to forget, particularly when I'm demoing. So I'm just literally dotting the glue, squiggling it a bit on those wider bits, but dotting the glue up the stems and on those smaller little leaves. Let's see. There we go. Okay, and then this is going to go like so, and then this bit, there's really a way up that paper, is going to go like so. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper and I'm going to press that down, and same here, I'm going to press that down. Okay, so now we've got our pattern paper behind, and now we're going to put glue. And I've look here, I've got a very thin edge, but not a very good placement of my center die, but we will live with it. So I'm just going to use the fine nozzle. I'm not going to try and put glue on the pattern, the decorative pieces. I am just going to go around this inner, and I'm hoping on this one I've got enough room. Oh, it's getting glued. Yeah. So at home, take a little bit more time to make sure the placement of your die is better than mine. So, okay, so these then are going to go around. So I'm going to push them down in a moment. So it's going around like, so try if you can for them to be sort of the same point, top and bottom. Okay, so there's our borders like so. So now let's look at actually making this into a box. I'm going to put the thing back in here for a minute. Ooh, is it going in? Go on, go in. There we go. Right. So we're going to get our scissors and we're going to cut this little piece off here. I'm just going to go in to make that into a tab. And again, a little bit off here, make that into a tab. And I'm going to cut up each of those 4 lines. And then just take off just a little bit to make them into tabs as well. Okay. Now they do not meet at the bottom. Sorry, to cover the whole of the bottom. Just wasn't possible in order to get the lid on. So what I've done is I've kind of like alternated them, you know, when you kind of pack a box and you kind of put that flap under. So I've done that there and then put a piece down inside. So the way I'm going to do it is this. I'm going to put all my glue on. I'm not going to glue every single thing. So I'm going to put, I'm trying to work out which way I'm going to go with this. I'm going to put glue here, 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 and I haven't cut that one off. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but it sounds like it is pouring down outside now. Absolutely throwing it down on top of the roof here. So I'm glad we're nice and snug in here. So I'm going to bring this one round to stick here. And then I'll try and do it this way actually so you can see. And then this one round to stick on there. This one round to stick there, but also that one needs to go under. And that is going inside. Okay. Like so. And I'm just going to get some of the glue off my hand before I go and glue something I don't want to. So, okay. So my big thing that I want to ensure at the moment is this side. So I'm going to get a ruler. And I'm going to put my ruler down there and make sure I've got it all in the right place. Ooh. Get my ruler down there. And then I'm going to put it down and again just push down with my ruler on all the bits at the bottom. Okay, now I've used sort of acrylic glue. It will give you a little bit of movement, but it will grab quite quickly. Okay, so that's now there, and I have a 2.5 inch square that I'm going to drop in the bottom. Now I don't know why I dropped it in Centura pearl side up for some reason, but you're not going to really look at the box. So I'm going to drop it Centura pearl side down this time so that it all looks pearly on the outside. And I'm only putting glue around the edge because obviously the middle is going to show. And now I took my tweezers and so I can sort of reach in a bit further than I can with my fingers, and then flipped it over and then just pushed down to glue it. And there you've got, now we've got a bottom but we've got Centura pearl in the middle. You could, if you preferred, stick it over the outside. That's personal choice. Okay, so we've now got the base of the box. We just need a lid. So I have what have I got? A 4 3/8 square. 4 3/8. and I am going to score it at, what I'm going to score it at, 3/4 of an inch all the way around. Now, quite often when we do boxes with lids and bases, this is our base. Is it our base? No, this is our lid side, this is our base side. But because I needed to score my box in the way I did to get the measurements right, all I did was just increase this by 1/8 of an inch all the way around, which means it will fit. Okay. Last words, if I've actually scored it in the right place. So we're going to hold and burnish this like so, and then create our little tabs like so. Cut in and cut a little bit out, and then I always do it like the same opposite on the opposite side. So this, to make it strongest, then you kind of go to make it the strongest, you would cut one here, one here, one here, and one here, sort of circular around. But I always think it doesn't look quite as good if you do it that way. So I'm just going to grab, oh, hello, my pegs. And thinking about it, this is something perhaps I should have done earlier, but not to worry, because it could have been drying, couldn't it? But hey ho, hopefully it will grab quite quickly. So I'm putting glue on the tabs, and then I'm just going to put a little peg on to hold them in place. Hopefully that will grab quite quickly, quick enough for us to be able to put it into the box to show you. Oh. So, and so, okay, so that's now drying. So what I'm going to do, I've just made a little matten layer to stick on the top of the box just to tie it in with everything else. So we just get a bit more glue and put that on like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy away a few things, and hopefully by the time I've got all of that out the way, then this will be ready for us to unpeg and put on our box. You see the glue takes quite nicely quickly, and there is the lid for our box. There you have your box. I personally, when I created this, what I had in mind was putting a lovely pillar candle in there. You could make a wrap for it that matches out of one of these, maybe a little gift tag as well, but that was the intention. So what we've used is Centura Pearl. I've used, this is Foundations Teal card, the Creative Expressions Foundations card, and the main star is this gorgeous Floral Panels die set, the Buttercup die set from Wilson from Creative Expressions. Make sure to look on the channel for the other couple of videos that I've got using this die set and all the other great, I say great, it's been a bit modest, all the other demonstrations I've got on there that hopefully will inspire you. Thanks for joining me.